Okay, hello. This is day two of making little videos and trying to look at the camera and we get better at this having camera presence, not touching my face. Having better camera presence for the purposes of doing better in my library technology classes. And, I find it's actually kind of fun to get better at something. So we'll see where this goes. I'm going to be talking about random things. I'm going to try to pick a little bit nicer topics today so I don't get all nervous because yesterday I was talking about political violence. And just to talk about that for a second, it was actually the Republic of Georgia where they were having a pride rally and they were like fascist thugs coming out and beating on protesters in the street. And anyways, I talked about that yesterday. So, uh, in its relation to violence as sport that we're seeing all over the place and how UFC is now kind of the tame thing. But today I'm going to talk about a few other things. Like today, it's a nice crisp day. It's a cold winter day. Uh, sorry, I'm a little sick still. Uh, went to my niece's play yesterday. She's Lumiere in the Beauty and the Beast, and she did incredible. She's a little dynamo. She makes every part her own when she does it. She gets better and better. Every time she gets on the stage, she's getting so much experience. Pretty much everything she's ever done, we were talking about this last night, but anything she's ever done has been experience for her going forward. And she's going to be turning 13, and she's now going to be going into her school productions at junior high. So that'll be exciting for her. And it was a very entertaining play. All the kids did really well. I'm always amazed at what they can do at that studio and getting 40 kids to put on a production, and that's just crazy to get 40 kids to do anything, let alone put on a major production like that. And all right, so what else can I talk about? Uh, I'm going to be turning 40 in April, and with 40, I can talk about a little bit about weight loss. I've been trying to lose weight for the last few years after gaining weight uh, post voices going away where they would torture me to be really thin. But I've been successful at times. I think I got down to like 179 a few years ago, and the most I've ever weighed I think was like 230 in high school because it's kind of funny, but like I was beefing up to be a lineman, and but I've dropped down after that, and I've gained weight and lost weight throughout my life multiple times. My weight kind of fluctuates, but there's the nervous thing going on. But I can say that I've developed a system, I think, recently where everything seems to be clicking. And I've lost 2.5 pounds the last 2 weeks. And it has been pretty easy. Uh, I'm go- Sorry. I'm going back to my old habits of eating most of my meals in one fell swoop, unless I know that I'm going to be socially eating with family or friends or something like that. So, uh, after I use something called BMR, which is basic metabolic rate, and you can do this in a calculator online. You can look up basic metabolic rate, and it is, for me, it's 18 to 1900 calories a day. I estimate 1900 just to be on the safe side, and I find that most times when I eat 1900, I don't really get that hungry. But for the most part, I typically eat about my natural way of eating is about 2000 to 2100 calories. And so I supplement this process with exercising like trying to burn 600 calories on this little step counter here, and I burn about 600 calories a day on the step counter. And I was doing that before and I was having a lot of success with it, but I got away from it because I got tired. But then I started taking these vitamins, particularly uh, Vimerson Health vitamins, Men's Health Vimerson, and the next one that did was worked pretty good wonders for me was the Super Beats, which was, I'd heard a lot about it. It's all over these commercials and stuff. And so I just tried it and it's working really well. And I actually don't get the tingling in my arms when I go to sleep at night. Like I would put my arm up above my head and I would get like tingling. I don't get that as much anymore because of, I'm pretty sure it's the circulation that I'm getting from the Super Beats. Now, I don't recommend it because I'm not a doctor. So, I'm not sitting here recommending it, what to take with these things, but like, I don't recommend any of these vitamins to anybody, but I'm just telling you what works for me. And I also take a B complex and vitamin D because my doctor told me I needed vitamin D. And I take a vitamin C. And I'm a little sick right now, but I think I'm handling this cold pretty well. I had one day of a headache and I had one day of a sore throat. But since then, I've been doing pretty good. I've been sneezing a lot the last couple of days, so I try to stay away from people. Last night at the play. Uh, but back to the weight loss, 2.5 pounds loss. Hopefully, I could get down to 170. I was at 193 this morning. So I'm not too heavy, not too lean either. But hopefully I can, like I say, get down to like 172 and see where I am. See if I want to go more. And I think I'm gonna do it. Like I actually feel pretty confident now. I have a little system where after I reach my BMR rate for the day, I start eating eggs. So I start eating protein. Now, I'm trying to get away from meats and cold cuts and things like that. So I'm trying to just eat eggs in the evening. And I usually eat about a couple hundred calories of eggs in the evening. And sometimes that's after eating about 1850 calories to 18 to 1900. So like I say, it's 2000 to 2100 calories. Then I'm burning the 600. So I'm putting myself at like a deficit of 4 to 600. And so with about 500 calorie deficit, I'm dropping about a pound a week, and it's working for me. I've managed to stop eating in midnight snacks unless I make weight. So like if I make weight at like 2 in the morning and I'm hungry, then I'll go eat something. Just that's me. That's what I'll do. So it's like but I have to make the weight first. So like if I get down to the weight I'm gonna be, which is, uh hopefully it's a fifth a pound lighter than the day before, and that's what it's been going on. I've been getting like a fifth pound lighter. So hopefully I can do that. And then I'll wake up in the morning. Usually I'll make my little successful weight. Or if I don't make my successful weight, I don't sweat it. It's not a big deal. I just try to wait till the morning to start my process of eating again and get my water weight, like so I don't get the sugar spikes, and I get my water weight back down so that I can make in a weigh in and measure and keep track. So that's that. That's my little thing. I also do a little weightlifting every other day or so. About 3 times a week, I do like overhead press and curls and push-ups, and that's mostly what I do, just to make sure I don't atrophy and maintain some sort of muscle mass as I head to 40. Uh, let's see what else I could talk about. I'm reading a book called We Are Not Alone, and this, I think people are more interested in aliens and extraterrestrial life life in the universe than they let on. Uh, I think that there's a lot going on out in the universe, and you just look out into the sky when you go out into the desert and you see it is massive. There's so much out there. Uh, then you see things like in movies of aliens and things like that, and you think like, are they leaving little nuggets about what's going on as science fiction, science reality? How much of that is fake and how much of that is based on some sort of reality? So all these UFOs flying all over the place and going into the water, and you can see it on radar going into the water. And this is what's really going on in the world. Now, we have all our human problems, and they seem so insignificant when you look at how big the universe is, and we think to ourselves, man, we are some stupid species the way we're living. But I hope what's going on is that the Pentagon and the war machine, I hope they're making fake wars and they're funneling money into a breakaway civilization. Now, I think we should know about the breakaway civilization, but I just personally think you take a look at what's going on in Ukraine, and it's a comedic actor walking around with heads of state from all over the world, and it just doesn't seem real to me. Now I'm sitting in my little room. I'm, like I say in my book, I'm just Plato in a cave. I'm like the allegory of Plato in the cave where he's looking at the shadows and he's trying to make sense of the shadows. And, I look at these things and I think like, could it be fake? Could they really do like a wag the dog? And then you have a situation where the Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby came out and he said that you Russia was going to create a false flag situation where they were going to use fake explosions, fake mourners, fake victims, fake corpses, and they were going to use this as a pretext to invade Ukraine. And so my question is then, okay, so you're saying only one country can do it, and that's what they said 9/11 was. They said 9/11 was, that's what people said, 9/11 was a fake attack in order to create justification for the war on terror. So if Russia does it, can America do it? And if Russia and America can do it, can they do it together? Can you create a series of events that have the appearance of a war? And, I actually saw a segment on MSNBC in which they were saying things like, maybe we can make an appearance of a war and see how easy that would be and all this. And so it's a little crazy to think about, but maybe that's what all these UFOs are. Maybe that's really truly where the Pentagon budget goes. And maybe there's more to our economy on Earth than we realize. Uh, I'm not sure exactly because I'm just a guy sitting in his room right now. But that's my thoughts on it. And I guess that this gets me into the schizophrenic reality. Having these thoughts has got me targeted with high tech weapons. And so I can't really tell you what those weapons are. I just know that they can control your mind, they can control voices in your head, and they can control your body's conditioning, and what goes on with your heartbeat and your mind. And I don't know if it's giving me brain damage or if I already had brain damage, which I'll probably get into in another clip. But I've gone on quite a long time today, and I think I was yelling at the camera today. I was not talking softly. So I guess this is my little clip today. I'm going to go look at this. I'm going to post it because it was interesting content to me. And all right. Thank you for listening. I don't think you don't have to listen. So if you think you have to listen to this, you don't have to listen to this. But I'm gonna post it anyways just because it keeps me honest every day trying to do it. All right. So that's my talk about today. All right. Bye bye.